Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
Hello, my internet fans. Welcome to another edition of Stat Boy Sports Bar. That's me, featuring Dori Lou down in the corner there. Oh, no, she's up in the upper corner. There she is. And, of course, we have the master and the wise man. It's his own multitude of media and madness that I like to put. I always like to put the word madness in there. It's just the triple M. Good old JM is below us. And down in the other corner, the Cleveland combatant himself, Josh, is in the house. We are here to give you all the news that is sports related, as we do every week on this show.
It's only madness when you fuck up the introduction, Mikey. It's multiverse
of media madness.
No, not even madness, just multiverse of media. It's only madness when Mikey botches the intro every week.
I actually got it right during open mic night.
Well, I wasn't there, so it doesn't count. I wasn't there. I wasn't booked.
There you go. It's the multiverse.
That's right. Hey, and you know what? By the way, if you want to get on my case for get on your case about it, you used to work for the company that owns the multiverse. So, damn it.
As you do the two-finger point.
That's, of course. It's like a thing now. I just do it.
It is.
I never worked for that company, but I do it too.
It's also polite. I've been doing it for years anyway, because between him and Teresa, I've always been around a cast member. So, you know. Exactly.
Well, I got stuck with the two-finger point my third day in working because I pointed at the DVD remote control. But that's a whole other story in itself. We start our show with a sad moment. We start our show in remembrance today of Georgia Bulldog offensive line member Devin Willock, who sadly passed away literally hours after the Bulldogs celebrated their championship win. Sadly, he died in a car crash. He's
crazy,
very, very young, only 20 years old, I believe.
24.
24. Thoughts and prayers go out to your family.
Too damn young.
Exactly. I mean, I haven't heard about investigations or story. All I know, it was a single car accident. I believe it was 2:00 in the morning when it took place. So again,
Mike, I have the article. Would you like me to just give you the brief synopsis?
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
So shortly before 3 a.m., Chandler LaCroix, who's a University of Georgia staff member, and Devin Willock with two others, their vehicle drifted off the road for some reason into a couple of power poles and some trees. Willock was ejected from the vehicle and unfortunately died at the scene. And then LaCroix passed away after being taken to the hospital. There were two other passengers with serious injuries. No other updates at this time. They are investigating on what happened for them to have to drift off the road.
There it is. So again, we here at Stat Boy Sports Bar, we again offer our condolences to their family. Again, taken way too young at 24 years old. Let's get into hockey. That cool game on ice where if you're lucky, a fight breaks out.
Yeah, it turns into a WWE match.
Exactly. Let's take a look at our power rankings. As you can see, Boston with the Chowda. I went there. They have the lead still at 72 points. Carolina, the Hurricanes, are in second place with 62 points. The New Jersey Devils are in third with 61 points. The Stars and the Jets, and let me quickly bring up my other, if I have it, I'm stalling here for a second. There it is. That's what I want to bring up. Dallas, Winnipeg, and Toronto all have 59 points. The Stars have the goal lead at 156. The Jets and the Maple Leafs are tied at 147 goals. The Jets have given up less at 114, and the Maple Leafs are at 117. The Vegas Golden Knights are next at 58 points. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Rangers are tied at 57 points. The Lightning have a 5-goal lead over the Rangers. The Kraken and the Kings are tied at 56 points. The Kraken have a slightly better record also, but records really don't matter when it comes to rankings, but it does in the proper NHL standings. The Kraken have a 1-game lead, 26-25. And when it comes to the goals, the Kraken have a 5-goal lead over the Kings, 159-154.
Seattle can kiss my Kraken.
Release the Kraken. The Canucks have 54 points. Alex Ovechkin is at 810 goals. And now that I've looked at the numbers, he basically has to score a hat trick every game left in the season to break the record. So now I will say it ain't going to happen.
Told you so.
Yeah, you told me so. You got me on that one. The Wild are the next team at 52 points. Say it, Dory.
Go Wild!
There you go. Followed by the Oilers and the Flames at 51 points each. The Oilers at 164 points, and the Flames are, the Oilers are 51 points. The Flames are 51 points. The Oilers have 164 goals, and the Flames have 140 goals. And also, Nathan McKinnon in our fantasy league joined the Elite Eight. That is the top 8 players that score the most fantasy points in one game.
Woohoo!
I believe Dory on her team, in her squad, she's had at least 3 players join that elite group. We'll get to that part in a second. The Islanders the Penguins and the Islanders are tied at 50 points. The Penguins have a 3-goal lead, 139-136. The Blues and the Avalanche are at 47 points each. The Blues have a 10-goal lead over the Avalanche. The Panthers and the residential team, the Predators, are tied at 46. The Panthers have a 28-goal lead over the Predators. The Sabres are at 44 points. They're by themselves. The Red Wings and the Flyers each have 43 points. The Red Wings have a 9-goal lead over the Flyers. The Senators are by themselves at 41 points. The Canucks and the Canadiens each have 39 points. The Canucks have a goal lead of 149-116. And that just leaves the Sharks at 35 points, the Coyotes at 31 points, the Ducks at 29 points, the Blue Jackets at 28 points, bite me, and the Blackhawks are the bottom team at 26 points. And as it comes into our fantasy hockey league, Dory is still in third place after a heck of a game, or a heck of a day. Just the other day, she has broken 700 points now. She's behind Zach only by 120 points. Bless you if you sneezed. And
thank you.
Cough, sneeze, same. You can still get blessed either way. We have no idea. Where's Zach hiding? Why is Zach not here, I wonder? He needs to defend his team a little bit there. But he is only 140 behind the top player who's about to reach the 1,000-point threshold. We don't talk about my team. I'm only 17 points behind Renegade's team, who is, like I say, if it wasn't for the 8th team, I would be dead last. And right now, my team is tanking down the hill. Anyway. Like I say, I'm happy the way the league is going. And again, I'm still looking forward to fantasy football, and I'm definitely looking forward to fantasy football in the fall. Let's go.
Yep.
What did you just put, Josh? I'm going after your hockey. No, I'm going. You left out the word fantasy, Josh. I don't know if he has a hockey team. Dory's the one that's going after him. She's the one that's trying to catch up. And I think
I'm going to do it too and pass it.
I think she will. the way her players are playing and the way things are going, and points can change at the drop of a hat or the drop of a hockey puck in this case. All right.
Josh, you trying to start trouble?
I'm trying to get Zach in here.
When does he not cause problems? I'd like to know. Josh, behave yourself. I'll put you in the penalty box.
I was gonna say,
you do that to me too. So
Jeff can name times.
Flag on the play. All right, friends and family. The meat and potatoes of the Stat Boy Sports Bar is good old NFL football. The wild card weekend is upon us. It's over and done with. 12 teams played, 6 teams advanced. We start with the number 1 game that took place on Saturday.
How many teams played?
Huh?
I've got 4 games.
There were 6.
there were 6 games.
There were 6.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's 4 games this coming weekend.
4 games are coming up in the divisional, but there are 6.
Oh, I missed. Wow, I fucked up. Okay,
It's
hang
all
on.
right.
That's okay,
So-
Jeff.
Stall, motherfucker, stall. Okay.
I'm trying to stall as best I can. Do you have the San Francisco graphic ready?
Probably
Put that one up
not,
first.
but we'll find it. Fuck it here and see. Nope.
No, we don't have
Oh, we
that
don't want to look at that
We
one.
don't want to look at that one just yet.
That one will make me cry.
Okay,
Don't
I don't have the one you
Dory,
wanted
don't
yet.
cry.
Okay. Hang on.
We love you, Dory.
No, it's one of those things. Wild card weekend was what it was. I just
Well, and I worked all weekend, so I didn't get to see any of the games. But I heard I missed some really good games. It is what it is.
Yeah, I was working. I missed every game except the Cowboys game last night, and we'll get into that, I'm sure, momentarily.
Yeah, well, and I could have watched part of that game last night, but I came home from work early with a migraine, so I kind of took my migraine medication and kind of curled up in bed.
I don't blame you. Okay, let me just get rid of. I don't know why these are here. They're not supposed to be here. Too much shit to do today. Clearly. Okay.
Hey, it happens. It happens.
All right.
So,
as Dana Carvey would say, "Fucking 49ers." Okay, there we go.
Yay.
I think that's the only game that's got. Oh no, I take that back.
I was gonna say.
Only be 2 games that I don't think there was ever a question who was going to be the winner. So Seahawks at the 49ers. The 49ers won 41-23. Geno Smith went 25 for 35 for 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, threw 1 interception, and got sacked 3 times. And then we've got Purdy. He went 18 for 30. Hold on, messed up my notes. 332 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. That's going to be important in a moment here. No interceptions, sacked 1 time. He is the first rookie with 4 total touchdowns, like I said, 3 passing and 1 rushing in a playoff game in league history. He's the first rookie to do this.
And if you were
in his since he's started for San Francisco, he is 6-0 as a starter. In those games, he's had 14 touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 2 turnovers. Not bad for a third-string quarterback. What do you think?
absolutely,
It's one of those deals. Even my father, who is admittedly and overdoes it on the lack of acknowledging Paul Heyman, even he gave the wise man credit for the promo he cut for Purdy on Saturday. I was like, right on, there you go.
Yeah, I was going to say if you watch the Fox broadcast, it just popped up. There he was, and I'm like, what is Paul Heyman doing? And then he said, and there's also another Brock.
He knows a thing or two about Brock. Yeah, that's it. There you
So
go.
it was a great collaboration, if possible. I think Paul Heyman, he could read the Bible and make it sound good.
It is always good to see Paul doing Paul Heyman promo things, regardless of what entertainment venue he's on. It's wonderful.
Yes, I do have to admit, I do like Paul Heyman as an entertainer. I do not like his characters most of the time, but he's a great entertainer.
That's the point, right? So,
but
I will say this: we'll go briefly to WWE. If the rumors are true and the company does buy WWE, I am all about working with Paul Heyman on the regular. Let's go ahead and make that.
Could you imagine a Paul Heyman Disney promo?
No, because Paul's not G-rated. He hasn't been for 4 years. So
he'd have
maybe over
or
DCA or Club 33 or something, but definitely not in the main park. Absolutely not.
Club 33, definitely.
It would be interesting if WWE sells, but I'm not going to get into today's news on that.
Good idea.
We'll talk about that during Talk Wrestling, even though we went kind of ad nauseum on it on Sunday. So it was what it was. All right, let's see. Next game. All right, so before we bring up the next game scores,
okay,
let me just say out loud,
go ahead,
to the entire world, 2 things.
Go ahead.
Number 1, somebody stop the fucking Jaguars. I can't deal with Tony Khan having this much happiness in his life for the rest of the summer. And number two, just because I call you guys the squatters doesn't mean you have to shit the bed. Carry on.
The Jaguars beat the Chargers 31-30.
And what was the score at halftime?
27-0.
27-0 who, Dory?
That was the Chargers. They blew a 27-0 lead.
Shit the bed. My God.
Exactly.
Give him the stats, Dori Lou.
Okay, so Mr. Herbert, who helped blow that lead, was 25 of 43 for 273 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, sacked 3 times. And then you got your Clemson alum, Trevor Lawrence, went 28 for 47, 288 yards, 4 touchdowns, threw 4 interceptions, sacked twice, and they still came out ahead, partly because of head coach's Doug Peterson's play decision for them to go for that 2-pointer.
Yep.
A staple on this show that I have been talking about, and it ages me, is NFL Blitz. And every time you threw an interception, in big red lettering, the word interception came up on the screen as you were playing the game. If the Nickelodeon crew can make slime come onto the field after a touchdown, they should easily have that same graphic pop up when there's a pick on the play. Okay? 1 interception is okay. 2 interceptions, you start to worry. 3 interceptions, get off the field. 4 interceptions,
get out of the game.
Yep.
Retire. Fire the coach. Burn the field.
No. Don't fire the coach. You don't fire the coach because your quarterback is throwing an interception. You put him in his place and you sit him down and you say, you need to get out on the practice field and stop throwing interceptions.
We're going to go to Josh first.
And they still flipping won.
Right?
They are worse
by 1
than
point.
The Browns blowing a lead. This is going to be the new Atlanta Falcons Buccaneers meme. Are you knuckling kidding me?
Right?
Chargers, you had one job, which was to make sure and guarantee Triple H does not have to present a WWE title into the hands of Tony Khan. Please.
What happened? Yep.
All right, Jeff. Who do they face next?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Cincinnati is at Buffalo next.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no. I was saying as far as the
Jacksonville is at KC next.
Oh, good.
Look at that. Go ahead, Jeff.
As far as not firing the coach or not whatever because of the quarterback, who keeps the quarterback on the field after 3 interceptions? That'd be the coach.
Yeah, that is the coach's decision. So,
like I said, don't burn the field down because the Rams play there too, and we kind of need a spot for WrestleMania in a few weeks.
True.
Gather them at the offices. Random act of insanity and arson. Oh, there went the whole franchise. Or better yet, send them back to fucking San Diego where they belong. How about that?
I like that idea. I like that idea.
Send them back.
Yeah. Matter of fact, go back to San Diego.
Go back to Qualcomm.
Well, no. Get the Padres on your bandwagon with you and have them build you a fucking stadium worthy of your damn, which worthy you guys to be a freaking, shack on the side of the road. But at this point, Jesus Christ. Like, the Clippers ownership had enough sense. They're going to build the arena next to the Forum and get the hell out of Crypto.com Arena. I almost did it again.
Staples Center.
Jesus. Like, God, Chargers, I know Jacksonville is still having a hell of a year now.
Right?
But my God, 27-0 at the half.
And then you blow it.
And then you blew it so much, you might as well got a freaking AVN award for that scene.
Whoa!
Jesus.
That's a
my goodness.
Send that to James.
And yes, James, when you watch this back, clip that, and we'll use it at the end of the year.
Please
my goodness.
And that will be
no.
approved.
That's right. Step way through.
That's
right.
Myself, Jeff.
The teenager done pissed Jeff off this morning, and Jeff done pissed himself off an hour before we went on the air. So it's going to be a day. Okay, anyway.
Josh, if you have to go use the restroom, you may excuse yourself.
That's right. That's right. All right. Next game.
Matchup. The Bills beat the Dolphins 34-31. Go ahead, Dori.
Skylar Thompson went 18 for 45, 220 yards, 1 touchdown, threw 2 interceptions, and got sacked 4 times. That's nothing, though. Hold on that. Again, this is a third-string quarterback. I think he did a hell of a job looking at the scores. And he was a seventh-round rookie, third-string quarterback, and they were able to put up 31 points. However, Josh Allen and his team did a little bit better, of course. 23 for 39, 352 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The boy got sacked 7 times. 7.
7. You'll get 7 points in fantasy football for that next season when we play. I promise you that.
Yeah, we'll see what
DeMar
happens.
Hamlin did tweet out from his home that he was watching and supporting the team. He is improving greatly as far as we know. He's still on the IR. He's probably not going to come back until next season, but he's still showing his love. It'll be great if the doctors will allow him to travel if the Bills go to the Super Bowl. That would be amazing.
Well, I think he was going originally was going to be there on the field for the game, but it was decided it would be better off for him to watch the game at home just for health and safety protocols.
Yeah, he did show up at the practice facility to meet his team earlier in the week.
Yep.
All right. Get the handkerchiefs ready for I don't think Dori Lou wants to talk about this. The Giants beat the Vikings 31-20.
Fuck the Giants, first of all, but you guys better win next week.
I'll take the stats on this one so you don't get upset. Kirk Cousins.
I'm already upset too late.
Kirk Cousins went 31 of 39 for 273 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 0 sacks. Daniel Jones went 24 of 35 for 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 3 sacks. It was a good game. It almost was a duel back and forth. Both teams did an excellent job. The Giants just did a little bit better. They had the ball, and it just didn't happen for the Vikings. I said it last week. I thought they were going to go all the way this year, but at least doggone it, because Dori teaches us to be positive. The Vikings are the defending division champions. And that's what we're going to focus on right now.
Yes,
that's what
they
us.
are the NFC North champs. And, I've been a Vikings fan, good, bad, and ugly for most of my life, or at least once I started learning football. So, yeah, I'm a diehard. And I know what my team, I can see what they're capable of. They just don't, think shit happens. We know this. But let me give you a little NFL stat on their Mr. Daniel Jones. This is his first postseason start. And with this postseason start, he's also the first in league history to go over 300 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 75 rushing yards in the same game. And he did all that on Sunday.
There it is, right there.
There you go. So he may be someone to watch for your fantasy football teams next fall.
And what you also brought up something that you found a story that the Vikings are fake or something. What did you say about that?
So it's in various NFL reports and even some people on Twitter who are not Viking fans, so on and so forth, have said throughout the season, once our record was looking as good as it did, that the Vikings are a fraudulent team. They are not contenders. And supposedly this loss just proved that fact. I'm sorry. I disagree. If they were not contenders, if they were frauds, they would not have made it this far. So stuff that in your pipes and smoke it.
I would like to believe that the way Hollywood portrays the gangster era as, you know, the mob boss comes up to the guy and he tells his buddy, hey, go talk to this guy and make him take a fall. I would hope that that never happens in reality. Because, I mean, like I said, the Hollywood and the movie gangsters, you know, they fix things, okay? There was and this is a bit off topic, there was a NBA game, I can't remember the players, but the line spread, which we've talked about, was 5.5 points for a team. And there was a play at the end of the game. It was a 3-point play, which made the score win. The team won by 6 points. So when the 3-point shot was made, the commentator said, this one's for Vegas. Now, it's one of those offbeat clips. You find them on Facebook Reels all the time. And the person who started this thing was, oh, I have proof that the NBA rigs games, or the Vegas bookies rig the games. This is where this little mini rant is coming from. And so I'm like, oh, here's the guy in the suit telling his people to go talk to these sports guys. The Vikings are not a fraudulent team, okay? If something like this happened in reality, believe me, there would be investigations, court cases, detectives, wiretaps, the whole nine. But to call a team fake, come on, that is not possible.
Again, if they were not contenders, they would not have become the NFC North champs.
Exactly.
Before we move on, again, I'll say it. Show the score. I'll say it again. Giants, A. You took out Dori's team. Not happy with you. But in the interest of making everybody else in the room happy, or at least, you know, the man with the name on the marquee, you better beat the fucking Eagles next week, you bastards.
Yeah. It's a good rivalry matchup, Philadelphia versus New York. I mean, look where they are in comparison to each other in the United States. They're right next to each other.
We'll see what happens with that next week.
That's it. There you go. All right, we are now here, which also makes me happy.
And in Baltimore.
Well, you know what? You don't even have a horse in the race at this point. Jesus Christ. Be happy for me.
Home state, Josh. We know you love the Browns, but you gotta pick the Bengals as your backup.
Whoa. Hold up.
No, he doesn't.
I'm on the play. 5 points for bullshit. No, hang on. Okay.
There's a clip for you.
That's a penalty there for you, Mikey.
Yeah, that's for you, Mikey. Yeah, okay. So you don't have to root for in the same state, right? Ducks fans, Kings fans? No.
Oh.
And Cleveland and Cincinnati have always had the rivalry. I'm not saying that Josh shouldn't continue to harbor the dislike for the Bengals because okay, let's not get crazy now.
I love it, Josh.
I'm not saying don't harbor the dislike for the Bengals, even after the Browns also shit their own bed because they're not even playing right now. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. They're not doing that. But, you know, at least Baltimore's out, which will make Greg, I'm sure, very happy tomorrow on the Greg Cherry Show. I won't be there. I'll be dealing with this shit down there tomorrow and Thursday and Friday and Saturday. So there you go. But Yeah, anytime Baltimore loses post-2020 season is always okay on the Jeff Meacham Network, as far as I'm concerned. So
I will say I do hate the Ratbirds more than the Pussycats. But again, for both AFC North rivals, screw them both. If they could have just tied it and both been out, that would have been icing on the cake. You know?
we do have a tie to talk about later, but that's in the pick. I'm not in the NFL results. So anyway, off we go.
And the play of the day, or the play of the game, actually, Dori's got it was a fumble recovery.
Oh, yeah, I've got all that. So Baltimore and Cincinnati, let's go over the stats first. Tyler Huntley went 17 for 29, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and sacked twice. Burrow went 23 for 32, 209 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, sacked 4 times. So late in the fourth quarter, they're tied 17-17, right? For those of us who didn't get to watch the game. Mm-hmm. And there was Huntley tried to do a quarterback sneak. He fumbled it. And Cincinnati defensive end Sam Hubbard recovered it and ran it for a 98-yard touchdown to win the game.
Unbelievable.
It was an amazing play. I mean, to see a quarterback try to leap over the pile is cool enough.
Right.
Unfortunately, somehow the defender, I don't know how he did it, he stuck his arm out and stripped the ball. Forget jumping on the grenade at this point. Pick up the grenade and run. And there's your game winner right there. I mean, it's one of those – I love plays like that. I really do. I mean, and I always yell out when the ball comes loose, jump on the grenade. That's my catchphrase.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Oh, yeah, every time. Jump on the grenade. Just don't have the grenade blow up. Kaboom.
All right.
Birds can kiss Lamar Jackson goodbye.
But it would still be better than the freaking exploding match that AEW had, so that's okay. Anyway.
You really think Jackson's done?
In Baltimore? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Definitely in Baltimore.
Yeah,
in Baltimore, yes.
Baltimore.
Definitely Baltimore.
I haven't heard anything on that, but hey.
We'll keep watching the wires.
So let's get some Monday night's game now.
Yes.
This is the game that Jeff has been waiting for. At the Bucks. Well, first, let's say, have a nice rest of your postseason there, Mr. Tom Brady.
In retirement.
Hopefully Tom made his tea out time this morning.
Let's see. So Dallas, beautiful win, 31-14 over the Bucks. Dak Prescott went 25 for 33, 305 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, was only sacked once. I didn't get to watch the interview and I didn't read the whole article, but he was just absolutely elated at the end of the game.
Dak had the game of his friggin' life yesterday. He really did. He played so well. They all did.
I hope he can continue that through the rest of this postseason.
The friggin' 49ers, which I hate playing the 49ers.
I know.
Anyway.
Okay, now Mr. Brady, and I'm being nice, Mr. Brady.
Oh, Mr. Brady.
I'm wondering now if I wrote my numbers down wrong. So please double check me here, Stat Boy. 35 for 66.
Yes,
that's right.
That's right.
Yeah, that's actually his stat.
Damn. 351 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, was sacked twice.
Yep.
Now, late, one of the things, and Jeff, if you would bring up that photo, please.
Which one?
The other
yes,
photo
the Tampa Bay player.
Yeah.
Yes. So this young man, late in the fourth quarter, he took a hit pretty hard, apparently to the neck and the jaw. He did have to be stabilized and carted off the field. Right. Then he was put in an ambulance and moved to a facility. They are reporting currently that he does have movement in all his extremities, so no paralysis. Yep. But he is going to be undergoing further testing.
Russell Gage.
Still don't know the extent of his injuries. At the time I got my notes this afternoon to double check things. So just keep Russell Gage in your thoughts and prayers out there, NFL community, and hopefully we see him back next season.
Yeah. Brady with not only an interception but a fumble yesterday. Tompkins had fumbled the ball at one point. Freaking, it was crazy. Like, it was the Bucks kept finding ways to get through to the next week, man, and just
They're done now.
the best part about that was, and this is going to sound really petty, and I really could give less of a shit about it. We went into their house, and literally tracked our shit right through that field. With all due respect to my boy Hulkster, I bet you Terry left early and went to go to freaking Hogan's bar and karaoke and drown his sorrows. I sure as shit would have been doing it. God damn.
Right?
Tom Cruise is there. Even Tom Cruise in his Lazarus pit trying to suck the souls of everybody couldn't save the Buccaneers. Let me just do the Santino parade, and then we can move on to the next phase of the show. Okay, very good.
Well, also, what was up with the kicker? How do you
Okay, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because I was trying to not do it, but that's fine. Yeah, the Dallas kicker just couldn't – he couldn't freaking find the poles with spanking his own ass with both hands. My God, he was so bad yesterday. Like, I don't know what –
He goes far left, and then he overcorrected, and then just what the hell?
Yeah, it was like he's lucky the offense played so friggin' well. He didn't have to – he didn't worry about missing those 4 PATs. 4!
Right? 4.
Like, yeah, 4 as in the number of horsemen there are in any given time, including Jeff Jarrett, right, Mikey T? Anyway, where is that? Thank you for the setup. I appreciate you guys very much. It was just one of those, like, everything's great, everything is awesome, except our kicker can't make a goddamn thing. So
yeah, I'm thinking. I had to look it up real quick, and because I watched the highlights with Mikey this afternoon.
Yes,
I had flashbacks, and I had to look up his name because I blanked on it. That's how bad he was.
Right.
I had flashbacks to the Vikings when they had Blair Walsh and how.
Yes, God, wow.
And actually, he blew some of the. There are games they lost because he missed those extra points.
Yeah.
Just,
like I said, it was lucky for the kid that his PATs ultimately didn't impact the overall outcome.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, flashbacks to Blair Walsh, but they still pulled it off. Where unfortunately that screwed up. What's up, Josh?
You finished what you were going to say, Jeff.
I was going to say, if it had been more of a problem, he'd still be watching film now.
Right.
Put it that way.
Go ahead, Josh.
All I want to say is, I think it's really nice and sweet that Tom wanted to, give a little present to the Cowboys who before could never beat the Bucs and Tom Brady. He wanted to just give him a little present and, go tell Aaron Rodgers, hey, buddy, I may be joining you in retirement, but, at least I made it to the playoffs.
Well, Tom has to find ways he can give gifts and he can't because he's not giving gifts to his wife anymore. I mean, we got to,
You got the truth.
Yeah, who does he have to go home to after that loss? Now he's going to actually be retired.
Well, you know what though? It's funny because I even mentioned, it's what Tom's Brady going to do, and I said to my dad, "Well, not get for one thing," and Dad goes, "Oh no, now that he's single, he's probably going to be getting plenty of that." I said, "Well, he is Tom Brady, so more than likely." But
exactly.
Why?
All right, folks. Before we go on,
he can retire.
Before we go, well, we don't know what he's going to do. We don't know.
Him and Aaron Rodgers are. I mean, who knows what they're going to do? Are they going to retire? Are they going to go for another season?
I'm hearing
teams knocking on his door. We don't know.
What I'm hearing heaviest is he's going to end up in Vegas.
Yeah.
Really?
Brady's going to go to Vegas. Rodgers sounded on the Pat McAfee show today.
Yeah, he did.
Made it seem like he's going to retire.
Yeah, I didn't read that, but I'll believe it when it's official.
Well, Aaron's been dancing around it for so many, but he's almost done everything but actually say, I don't want to be in Green Bay anymore. And when you're in Green Bay for any length of time, you know why. There's cheese and there's cold. That's it in fucking Green Bay. So I wouldn't want to be there either if I was him. Again, Brady at least is playing in a warm climate 90% of the year. So, at least he's, can keep those old joints of his, nice and warm so he can not, get himself killed on the multiple sacks he took.
Exactly.
I'm going to enjoy every bit of this until the Cowboys probably get their ass whooped too, but that's okay. I really don't care. For tonight,
you're going to get birdied
on this.
It's all good.
This is an official Stat Boy rant. So we will be utilizing the banner And
Just
if
a
Jeff,
minute.
if I could have the single shot, please.
Just a minute. I have to get the banner ready because I completely forgot you were going to do this.
Yeah, this has to be done because of social media and YouTube and sports analysts and everything of what I saw. I initially I wasn't going to say anything about it, but then
yes.
I was going to say something about it because here's what I have to report. Now, okay, here we go. It is no surprise of one analyst, Stephen A. Smith from ESPN. He is on a show called First Take. And I believe this show is done first thing in the morning after all the sporting events of the day before has happened. Prior to the game between the Cowboys and the Buccaneers, he was in a studio and he was wearing Buccaneer red. He was in support of the Buccaneers, which is fine. You have your opinion, that's fine. He also had a cigar in his hand, unlit, of course, so he's waving this thing around or whatever. On the opposite side of the stage were a collection of Cowboy fans, and Stephen Smith was in front of the Buccaneer fans, with one predominant female with the acronym GOAT on it, G-O-A-T, greatest of all time. In the small group of Cowboy fans was, I believe, Dak Prescott's father and a couple of other very important people to the Dallas Cowboy organization. Sadly, I can't remember it all, and I really don't want to stall to bring up time. Now, again, Stephen A. Smith is entitled to his opinion. He is a journalist. He is an analyst. But he directed a comment towards Dak Prescott's father, making a prediction on the game, saying that his son would throw 2 interceptions and his son would lose the game. He also went on to speak on why he dislikes Cowboy fans. I'm not going to quote him directly because I did not write down the quote, but I believe, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, he said that when the Cowboys lose, there are fans that don't admit the loss. There is a fan in this room that can admit when they lose. That is my brother. Okay. So he made his prediction. He gave his opinion. Of course, the Cowboy fans were like booing him, and the Buccaneers fans were backing him up. So the game takes place, and we get the results. And of course, Dak did not throw any interceptions. And one of the Cowboys, Trayvon Diggs, I guess had his phone, and this is on his Twitter account. He looked at the score, and on his it was a short clip. He's like, Cowboys win 31-14. Stephen A., watch your mouth. Those were his words. And I, in our group chat, put the clip that I talked about in our group chat, so I would assume everybody saw it. And I said the words that I hoped that Stephen A. Smith would choke on the biggest piece of humble pie and eat a side dish of crow. Because I felt that his statements were disrespectful. Okay? Now, yes, his prediction was wrong. Okay? Dak Prescott did not throw 2 interceptions, and Dak Prescott and the Cowboys won. Okay? Now, he is a very elaborate and out there personality at ESPN. So if there's an entertainment value, that's okay. But the small problem I had is, of course, going out there and almost yelling at a football player's father about his son. Okay? that might have crossed the line a little bit. So, and I checked his Twitter, Stephen A. Smith's Twitter feed, and of course, everybody is, haha, you lose, haha, this and that. So now let's fast forward to this morning. Also, the last thing on Stephen A. Smith's Twitter page was him promoting an appearance on Good Morning America this morning, which I have not seen. So we go to ESPN's coverage of First Take, and Stephen A. is just sitting here like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who his co-anchors are, but one of them is ripping into Stephen A. Smith. And I'm like, hey, I don't need to say this. This guy is essentially saying what every Cowboy fan wants to say to Mr. Stephen A. Smith. Of course, that was one clip of the segment. There's a full clip on ESPN. Stephen A. Smith then started to, I guess, backpedal or whatever. He actually said, I was ready to humbly eat my plate of crow or something like that. Eating crow, of course, is when you eat your words and admit you are wrong. However, and this is another line that got me, it almost sounded like he took credit for the Cowboys winning. He said this, he said the Cowboys should be thanking me because I motivated them to beat Tom Brady. That is where I'm calling it out. You didn't do a damn thing. You were not on the field. You were not in the coach's ear. You had nothing to do with the game but analyze it. So that is going a little bit too far, okay? Now, there have been jokes here and there that, and I said this in, I believe, week 12 or week 13, that I said that the Vikings were going to go all the way, and they ended up losing 2 out of their next 3 games before they finally clinched the division. Dori jokingly said in our group chat, I jinxed it. Okay? That didn't happen, but it was all in fun. But to even think that you gave the Cowboys, were you in the locker room? Are you Jerry Jones? No.
Were you on the field?
Exactly. Were you on the field? No. And so his buddies there were it's almost like it's like
he tried to take credit for them winning.
Exactly. Thank you. And that's where I brought, if I had not seen that clip, I would have just left it alone and do it. Do I think Stephen A. Smith is going to come after me? No. He doesn't know me from anybody else. He did finally say that he was happy for Dak. He was happy when they won. I can't remember what he said about between the Cowboys now facing the 49ers. I believe a couple people asked him and said, can the Cowboys go all the way? And I believe he said no. Well, guess what, Stephen A. Smith? I am going to challenge you, and I'm going to say, yes, the Cowboys can. Because in thinking positively, I believe that the Cowboys can go all the way. Will they do it? Hey, Big Baller. Will they do it? That's up to them. That's up to them onto the field. And you can say you're going to do it. You can think positively all the way. But, of course, the ball can get hit by a gust of wind, or someone can block the ball, or someone can tap the ball, or the ball won't go where it wants to go, okay? There are thousands of different factors why you win a football game. But you, sir, taking that one little thing saying, I motivated the team, that doesn't fly. There are hundreds of fans out there that can say, I'm very happy for them. You just should have left it at that. You should have just straight out said, okay, I was wrong. Those 3 words, I was wrong, can mean a fortune of emotions. Because, and those 3 words, I don't even use them that much. It takes a lot for me to say I was wrong. You have to damn near break my arm to get me to say that I was wrong. Because I don't admit that I'm wrong. I think that I'm right until I am proven wrong. And
Don't
even
take too often.
thank you. And like I said, I'll open the floor and I'll let everybody else talk that. But I mean, come on, Stephen A. Smith. What do you do? If you don't like the Cowboys, fine. But don't disrespect the fans that have so much faith in their team that they put a banner on their wall and they wear a T-shirt and they have that Lone Star over their hearts. Could you imagine if he was in Dallas? He wouldn't make it out of the state.
He wouldn't make it out of the
You
state.
wouldn't have said it in Dallas for one thing.
Good point.
So you mentioned that Steven thought he moved. The only thing he moved out of me is a bowel movement. That's a whole other, it is what it is. He sucks. He sucked for a while, and Nate cozying up to him doesn't make you look any better, Steven, considering how Nate is acting lately. So
I will ask you, bro, can they do it?
Of course they can. Any given Sunday. Okay, Niners are having a year, man, and it is what it is. I would love it if they got through the weekend, with their season still intact. I would not be surprised if I'm sitting here next Tuesday congratulating the 49ers on moving on. It is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and be one way or the other about it. I am happy if the Cowboys keep going. At this point, Brady's gone, Rodgers is gone, and inexplicably the Jaguars are still playing. So, and honestly, the Chargers shit the bed in the process of letting the Jaguars move along. So I'm glad they're gone. Chargers are gone because, like I said, it's because they call you all the squads doesn't mean you actually have to shit the bed before you leave the season. But they did. So cool for them. The Rams had the worst post-championship season in the history of the universe. So I didn't count on them doing anything this year. Yeah, if the Cowboys win, great. If they don't, as long as Philadelphia does not win the Super Bowl, I really don't care at this point.
Yeah. Josh or Dory, do you want to weigh in on?
Excuse me.
Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, my thoughts are summed up in if Jeff could put the nameplates back up.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Didn't realize that. I took it off because they had the ticker going. The hell is that? There it is.
Whoa. Okay, that's wow.
He's not wrong, though. He's not wrong.
Mikey, I would say I agree with you.
ESPN?
Mikey, I would say I agree with you in everything you said, except for the winner of next week's game. I'm sorry, Jeff.
Like I said, it is what it is.
Yeah, the Cowboys aren't beaten. Brock is too purdy right now.
Oh, please.
I believe if you don't like the commentators' opinions, you turn them off, which is what I'm going to do. There you go. And that's,
Way to go. Well said, Pop.
And then, Big G, good God, if the Cowboys win or go all the way, it'll be 3 teams of 6 or 49ers, same thing. So
49ers, please. Just give me my 49ers. Can we just skip the playoffs and the Bills need to go to the Super Bowl on principle after what happened with DeMar.
Ooh.
No.
No.
You know what? I'm going to have a hot take, and it's going to probably piss people off, and I really don't care. Once again, I'm going to make a point. My camera goes blurry. Hang on a second. Hang on.
I'll let Jeff handle this one, and then I'll just throw in a quick one. But I mean, is he coming back?
He's working on it.
Okay, there he goes.
There we
Okay,
go.
So it's one of those things. What happened to DeMar sucked. It was awful. It was damn near lethally tragic. Okay, but we don't need to keep fixating on it.
Right.
And that happened all throughout the night. It happened all throughout the following weekend, the following week of play. It's like, just because DeMar had the incident he had does not mean the Bills need to win the Super Bowl. Like, it would be a wonderful story for Buffalo. Yes.
Yes, it would.
But it doesn't mean it needs to. We all need to. That's like, no. Like, Cowboys can still win because that'll make the Cowboys fans happy. Buffalo wins, it'll make, the Buffalo Bills fans happy. I'm not going to be happy if, Buffalo wins over the Cowboys. That's going to suck for me because I am a Cowboys fan. By the same token, if the Eagles win, you're not going to hear from me for a couple days. Because they already took people going to my WrestleMania birthday thing this year away from me, you cocksuckers, for booking WrestleMania the following year in Philadelphia. So,
Oops. Oopsies.
but yeah,
Just-
Buffalo, like I said, what happened to Damar was awful. I just don't think we need to, and again, I'm not just focusing on that. It happens all the time. Whenever person in particular team or entertainment venue, happens, it sucks and it's awful, but and again, hot takes. I don't think Eddie Guerrero makes the Hall of Fame the next year if he doesn't pass 2005. I don't think that's a thing.
Right.
I don't think Jeff Jarrett gets the Intercontinental Championship if Owen doesn't die. We don't need to just, let's just shift gears or shift, whatever because of something tragic. We need to treat tragedies of a human personal nature like we do with 9/11. Resume business how it needs to be.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think the Bills are a good contender for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like Josh Allen as a quarterback.
Yes.
He's I'm sorry, my Vikings, but he's like 100 times better than Kirk Cousins.
Yes. Yes.
There you go.
But they need to win on their merits.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
yes.
Let me just clarify my position. I want the Bills to win regardless on principle.
I know
because
that.
they're the best team in the AFC North. I was just saying winning it for Damar would be just icing on the cake.
It's one of those, yeah.
Yeah, so that's my clarifying point on this. I want the Bills to just sweep the rest of the AFC and go on to face the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Not sorry about your Cowboys.
I would have no problem if the Bills made it all the way, and I wouldn't have a problem with the Cowboys beating the Bills again because we did that a couple of times.
You want to go?
If
this becomes a Bills versus Cowboys Super Bowl,
there.
We're going to need something with Jeff and I.
So here's the deal. I'm happy for the Bills because they have not been in this position in a lot of our viewers' lifetimes. Let's be just frank on that. Nor have the Cowboys. So, it's awesome to have both teams in a position where they're in the discussion. That's the best part. And G, I realize a lot of the people that are going to WrestleMania 40, it's going to be their first WrestleMania because it's close to drive. Josh is going to be right there. I get it. Okay. But I only turned 40 once. WrestleMania turns 40 next year, but they're going to have 80,000 people with them or however many the hell fit in that damn Eagles nest. I feel personally robbed by the Philadelphia Eagles. And I know it's not the case, but as a Cowboys lover and an Eagles hater, I do feel wronged. So damn it, I'm going to feel like it until I get my way, and I'm not going to get my way. So I'm going to be an angry asshole for a whole year now. So there you go. Congrats, Philly. You screwed up on that.
Yes, Jeff, the Bills did lose 4 Super Bowls in a row.
I was about to look that up because I couldn't remember.
They did. 2 of which were the boys.
Yeah.
The Aikman boys at that. So there you go.
Yeah, the Aikman boys.
And again, that's why I like Troy so much because he was a UCLA guy that went on. That's why I like Dallas so much because he was UCLA. So,
Dori, did you want to say anything about the rant?
No, it's. What Pop said about if you don't like the opinion, turn them off. And that's exactly what it is. It's their opinion. And I agree that, he shouldn't be trying to take any kind of credit towards them winning. No. He wasn't on the field.
Nope.
And how many of the players actually saw that interview to amp them up,
Trayvon Diggs did, because he was one of the first ones to say something about it.
Well,
he shut out that warning. He's like, Stephen A., watch your mouth.
But as a whole, how many players got that information before the game?
We don't know.
Okay, so how can he take credit for amping them up for that win or whatever? And he wasn't on the field. He's not one of the players. He was not part of that team making that win.
Right.
I disagree with his comments, but again, they're his own personal opinion, and he's entitled to them. If you disagree with him, don't listen to him. Shut him off.
And
Well,
at the end of the
he's
day,
said for many
opinions
years.
are like assholes. Most people have them, and usually they stink. So there is that.
And I've said for many years, one of my personal philosophies is if you don't like what I'm wearing, don't look at me. If you don't like what I have to say, don't talk to me.
That's right.
There it is.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
If you can't say something nice, you must be talking about Stephen Smith.
Nothing
at all.
That's right.
I
wasn't going to use the intellectual property because I didn't want to have the company come down on me for that. But okay, that works. You guys can take it. All right. Now, we do have a positive note to end on, as Dori Lou always does. So we'll go ahead and throw that up there now.
Still more.
You're still
forgetting about the pick'em results.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, then we'll do that next because clearly I'm not running the show properly today. Okay.
Jeff, you got a lot going on.
Let's see. We'll do this one first, right? No.
Yes. Okay. So
in
the first round of the tournament bracket, Zach, Emmanuel, Brandon, and Jerry, Mike, and Nathan were all matched up, and those are the results of those 3 matchups. Zach beat Emmanuel 5-4. Brandon beat Pop 3-2. Mike and Nathan tied 5-5. Now, normally they would have moved on, but I, as league director or whatever you want to call me, I messed up again, and I did not get the tiebreaker question to Mike. There was a tiebreaker question that I sent out, and I did not confirm it with him. So he didn't give an answer to it. Therefore, I can't remove him from the game. That would not be the fair thing to do. So what I did was I reorganized the tournament so now there are 8 players left, and Dori gets to go all the way to the finals because she was the number 1 player and last year's champion. So she'll be awaiting the remaining 2 players from the remaining 8. So JP is going to take on Nathan head-to-head. Daniel's going to take on Zach head-to-head. JJ is going to take on Brandon head-to-head. And Tammy's going to take on Mike head-to-head. Those 8 will then be whittled down to 4. Then 4 will be whittled down to 2. And when it comes down to the Super Bowl, it'll be Dori versus the 2 remaining players in the final match for the tournament. Now, as far as the actual pick-em it goes, Mike, Dori, Nathan, and Zach each correctly pick 5.
Oh, it's Dori Lou. I'm sorry, my bad.
You put a comma there.
I was like, who the hell's Lou? Because you never put Dori Lou in there usually. So
okay,
yeah, that's true.
They each got 5 out of 6, and the games were 2 points each, so they each scored 10. Tammy, JJ, Emmanuel, and JP each got 4, so they each get 8 points. Brandon and Daniel got 3, so they get 6 points. And Pop only got 2 for 4 points. Those points get added to their current standings. There they are. Dori has a 7-point lead over JP and a 9-point lead over JJ. Mike and Daniel and Tammy and Zach are all 1 point away from each other. Brandon's at 163. Emmanuel is at 158. Pop's at 154. Nathan is at 152. The games in the divisional playoff are worth 4 points each. And for the matchups, it'll be a head-to-head matchup. And again, the tiebreaker question will be how many total points are scored in all 4 games. There are 4 games. How many total points? That will break the tie. Whoever gets closest without going over, just like on The Price is Right, advances or gets the tiebreaker. If they both go over, then it's who's ever closest. So that's how that takes place. Like I said, I goofed again, so I had to fix it, and that's the way I fixed it. Let's take a look at the playoff bracket and see who's left.
Oh, yeah. I had that one.
There it is. The Chiefs will take on the Jaguars. The Bengals will take on the Bills. The Eagles will take on the Giants. And the Cowboys will take on the 49ers. Then the next week, of course, is the conference championship. Then we have the Pro Bowl.
Go Giants!
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm all right.
All right.
And then we go to the
I can't believe I'm saying this either, but go Chiefs.
Again? No.
I have to say go Chiefs. I cannot look, as much as I want Bills or the Niners to win, the thing I do not want the most is I do not want Triple H to have to hand a WWE title
No,
Tony
that's
Khan.
exact. You know what? I said at the top, I don't want Tony to get, too giddy. He might have an accident in his pants at this point with AEW actually doing better. But wouldn't that be the most 2023 thing ever? Vince is back in the freaking CEO seat, and Triple H has to hand a championship belt to Tony Khan. Wouldn't that be the greatest freaking
And
thing?
put it on
I would
AEW
definitely be
television.
watching that.
Right,
It's
and have it
insane.
be like the freaking lead into Dynamite, like the picture. Oh dear Christ! Oh dear Christ! That'd be the greatest thing in the history of the universe.
Oh, no,
Yes, it would.
no.
All right, before we get to Dori Lou's weekly light, because I do forget we have to do the promotional plugs and the shills and all that.
Yes.
Coming up at 10 o'clock, 10:05. Hopefully, I don't know I'll start the show when I want to. It's my goddamn show. Talk wrestling after NXT at some point tonight. Probably close to 7:05. We'll see. 10:05 Pacific or 10:05 Eastern, whatever the hell I'm trying to say. Tomorrow, the Greg Cherry Show. I believe Maddie will be with Greg again. I will not be there. I'll be at Disneyland for the first of 4 straight days because I'm a glutton for punishment, clearly. Of course, you can check out everything over at our friends at NoDQ.com. We did record the first of the gauntlet matches for WTC, Greg defending the championship. Jeff can't count, so we have to probably retake it. It is what it is. I botched it because I literally was keeping score and I still screwed up. So we'll see how it goes. But also, open mic night every Saturday. And since there's no watch along this week, this is the only week of the quarter we don't have a watch along on the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media. So we will be on at 11 o'clock Eastern straight up Saturday night. Again, that will be a Jeffless show because I will be working at the House of Mouse on Saturday. Of course, you know what? I take that back. I'll be off by the time the show starts, well before the show starts. So I may join. I'll just be en route here. But if I am on the show Saturday, it'll be, with the freaking bus jumbles. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to give anybody motion sickness like on Star Tours. We'll see. Buy the shirt over ProWrestlingTees.com for the Jeff Meacham Network. Yes, there will be more shirts added by the end of this quarter. The goal is for WrestleMania weekend to have more shirts up. That way we have our all the shirts we've been talking about putting on the air for the better part of last year actually active and out there. You can follow our friend, the Cleveland Combatant, at CatholicJosh122 on the Twitter and Mallowman Graham on the Gram. Hence the last part of it being Graham because he's on Instagram. See the synergy? Josh knows what platform he's on, so he puts the Gram in the Gram. Imagine that. And we're talking about putting Grams and Grams. Maybe Tom Brady can make money selling Grams. No, it's not going to play football anymore. Anyway. Follow your barkeeps on Twitter at Hathaway Lou, at LBStack1977. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, right?
I think so.
All right.
Take it home.
So, as you know, my weekly delight, trying to keep some positivity out there for everyone. Thanks for all who joined us. Change doesn't begin when we get knocked on our ass. It begins the moment we decide to get back up on our feet. Thank you, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. It's just, you know what? That's something. It's when you choose to get back up on your feet. That's when the change begins because you don't want to stay down there anymore, right?
That's it. Yeah,
that's
and Dory sent me a wonderful picture that was placed with this quote from The Rock. It just wasn't YouTube friendly. I figured, you know what? He wasn't more knocked on his ass than he was playing for the CFL for the Stampeders. So that's where we're starting from with Dwayne, and we're ending with him in the middle of the ring on the premiere of Fox, SmackDown on Fox, which I was at. So that's, why not?
Works for
And
me.
I'll throw out a quick Sad Boy shout out this Thursday in good old Sevierville, Tennessee. A good birthday party is coming up. She turned 77. That's all I can say on that without getting in trouble. If you know, you know.
The boss or your
The
roommate?
boss.
The boss.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, most of Dolly's turning 77. Anyway, we'll go ahead and keep going.
You can say that, but I can't. So,
hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? The founder of my park's been gone longer than almost everybody I know has been alive, so I don't really give a shit. It is what it is.
but there's supposed to be a big celebration down at our downtown Sevierville with 77 cupcakes. That's all I've heard. I don't know if she's going to show up or not, but
supposedly she's supposed to be there because they were advertising photos with her as well.
Yeah, I did notice that there was. It said the beauty queen, so who knows?
We'll see. We'll see.
If you want to
Down
celebrate
to
Dolly
her
Parton,
birthday.
what was that,
Anybody
Josh?
who likes to bake, apparently she's got a new line out with Duncan Hines.
Yeah. If you want to celebrate Dolly Parton on the Casa D-18 Studios, you can go watch JJ's review last week of The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, starring Dolly Parton and Burt Reynolds. So there you go. There is that. Got to plug JJ too. We're on his channel for sure. So again, musicals this week. He's got. Let's see. I know he's doing Cats tomorrow. Yesterday,
Which, is he doing the original Cats or this horrible remake they did?
I think he did the horrible remake.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember, JJ's not a musical guy, so he's not going to be inclined to one way or the other.
I really got to try.
Of course, I have the freaking things, and then I didn't. All right, so this week's movies are Les Miserables, yesterday from 2012 with Hugh Jackman and company. Tomorrow is Cats, which it is what it is. Friday is the Richard Gere, Renee Zellweger, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Queen Latifah, Chicago, which I
yes.
so jazz. He's watching and all that jazz. And then Saturday's new release is Idina Menzel, Which Way to the Stage, which was a documentary about Idina that was put on a certain platform that I have to shill on the regular. Anyway, Disney Plus. So there you go. That'll be new release Saturday. Warzone Sunday, of course, as he do. He'll be hosting Open Mic Night with Mr. Fuesta this weekend. So check that out. And Mikey?
We are done. Be sure and come back next week as we continue with the NFL playoffs. It's the divisional round. Like I said. And also, don't forget, coming up, I believe, in a week and a half, Royal Rumble 2023.
Yes,
next week will be available for the watch along.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna throw it out there. I don't know why you're throwing. Josh looks like he has no idea what the hell you're talking about. There will be our usual commentary team for WWE of Noah and JJ. During the Royal Rumble match, we're gonna have a big production meeting before the show, but you guys will be more than welcome to come in and provide commentary on the Rumble match of your choice. I believe James asked first, then Mikey. So we will go ahead and work that out how we're going to work it out. But I refuse to let it get clusterfucky, so we're not going to do that.
Promise to behave.
Tomorrow, next week's Greg Cherry show, by the way, which will be at 7:00 Eastern Pacific on Wednesday, will feature the Royal Rumbles draw, pool pick, whatever you want to call it, that Greg and I run every year. So that'll be next week's Greg Cherry show, and I will be there for that.
Speaking of draws and all that, usually around this time we would be doing Super Bowl squares. I'm gonna say no on it this time. We're working. I've messed up enough this time, so we're gonna suspend Super Bowl squares for this year. So sorry about that, guys, but we just got too much going on. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next week. Stat Boy out.
Fuck Bill Belichick.
He's not there anymore.
I need to fix copyright anyway, so I'll just go ahead and run the song, and then we'll say goodnight. Let's see where is it?
Good night, everybody.